I was gonna ask you guys just kind of your thoughts in general on like the future of like HD2D games because obviously over the last like 5 years or so, maybe a little bit longer. I can't remember when it really started to take off, but let's just say 5 years. Like it's just continued to grow and grow. Where we had Octopath Traveler, which really kind of set the standard for it. We had Triangle Strategy, Octopath Traveler 2. We've had now had like the Dragon Quest games. We have the Adventures of Elliot, the Dragon Quest remake games. I mean, and the thing that I thought was so interesting is now with the announcement of the Octopath Traveler and the Adventures of Elliot, Square has actually created an entire division for HD2D called Creative Studio 5, as well as a Twitter account and an X account dedicated to Square games that are HD2D games, right? So it's like, it's no longer just like, oh, you're going to kind of see them every once in a while. It's like we have dedicated divisions, we have dedicated resources, dedicated teams to do these, and at least on the Square side of things. And obviously, there are other studios and other like indie devs or whatever also dipping their toes into HD2D. But I was just kind of curious, you guys' thoughts on like the future for HD2D in general. Like, how are we looking on it? And maybe even some titles you guys would like to see get maybe an HD2D remake treatment similar to Dragon Quest. Because I was kind of looking into that. There was one game. Something Lagoon starts with a B. Do you know what I'm talking about? It only came out in like Japan, like Baja something Lagoon. It was a JRPG that came out in Japan, never came out over here. Everyone would love that. That was on so many dang lists. Let me see if I can get the game for you. But just kind of curious if you guys have any hopes and dreams for something that could be potentially getting that treatment. I think the quickest answer would probably for a lot of people be Chrono Trigger, but it's also the
Probably.
question is like, do you touch that or not?
Yeah.
I think Xenosaga would be kind of cool. Just from what I see from afar, I saw a lot of people comment that
You
one.
mean
But
Xenogears?
Xenogears, yes, thank you. But yeah, have you ever heard of that one?
Oh, I mean, I've heard of the series.
Okay, yeah, no. Bahamut Lagoon. I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah, a lot of people have that on their list. Would love an HD2D remake for that.
but it was only released in Japan.
Yeah, I think that's what I read.
Eh,
Yeah.
it's
And
unlikely, but possible.
I was also thinking about like other properties that could maybe get the treatment too. Other properties across multiple studios or publishing companies who they could look at a property that's been dormant for a while or a property that's been kind of dull for a while. That could maybe fit into an HD2D type of genre,
Hmm.
like something like that. Because like my first thought, and I know it's a laughable one because I already pointed out on a video that I did recently that you should go watch. I made a video recently of Nintendo IPs that I think could legitimately come back in the Switch 2 era, and the last one I said was Earthbound. I know, and slash Mother. Like I know that's like the ultimate. Like no way, but no, I'm legitimate. I'm legitimate on that. I really think there is that possibility that Mother slash Earthbound could come back.
I mean,
And
that's where my brain went immediately.
yeah, and I
because
think that's one that'd be great for it.
it's one that like it gets talked about a lot, and it's like I don't think if it got the treatment, people would actually flock to it to buy it.
Right.
But it's one where I could see it being one that people talk about.
Yeah. I think any sort of like maybe also like DS or GBA era games that maybe you want to kind of look to bring up, to modern. I think that could be one because I know one that I was thought I was like maybe go back and touch that Golden Sun property and maybe kind of bring it up into that realm. But no, it's just like overall, like how do you guys feel with where AC2D is going? Because I feel like it's really blossomed into such a popular genre where anytime one gets announced, I feel like there's like unanimous just praise for it,
Well,
or at least excitement. I mean,
I'm gonna say part of that I feel like comes from the fact that so far, I mean, it was Octopath and Triangle Strategy are kind of the ones that came out that were like these are new, but
And then we got like Live Alive.
yeah, I forgot to mention that one too. Yeah,
I was gonna say a lot of it so far is, or like some notable ones have been like you said, going back and working on old properties,
yeah,
and it's like that helps bring some excitement to it, but it's also the fact that the games that they've done with it so far have all been solid.
Yeah, that's
far,
the biggest thing.
it's like so far, I think it's less to do with the style of the game and more the fact of the quality of the games that have come out so far is why people get, because now when we see a game coming in that art style, everybody's expecting it to be good. because
Right.
so far everything has been good.
Yeah, it's like that natural knee-jerk reaction. Oh, HD2 game, this is gonna be a banger.
I was about to say, yeah, because that was my biggest thing as well. Is like all those games have just been solid. I mean, they're not always just flying off the shelf, but I mean, consistently, people are usually like, "Oh no, this is a solid game."
Yeah, yeah,
So I mean, in terms of them putting a whole studio together for it, I mean, that's fine. I just hope that they still put time they have been into these games and don't just start printing games out at that 2D
Yeah,
HD and just
yeah.
over flooding the market with them and
right.
just
That's fair.
giving
Oh,
us trash.
especially over flooding the market specifically from just that one publisher of Square, right? Like,
Yeah.
we want diversity. I know Square's been the biggest one who's done it, but like it's cool to also see some others have an opportunity to do it too.
I was gonna say it could just be that they've had that team has already been the ones in charge
Yeah,
of it, and they're like, well, at this point, we probably should just like section you guys off and have your own studio.
yeah. Have your own
It's like,
division.
have your own division for it because you've already been doing it anyway, and let's just make it official.
Right.
It's like I that's what I see this.
That's what I
more
see
as.
too. Yeah.
Because it's like we know they're already working on games. I mean, we know we had Dragon Quest 1 and 2 coming out.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
1 and 2.
We got Adventures of Elliot coming out. Now, didn't know Octopath was going to get announced, but it's one where you could assume they were making another one,
Yeah.
because of the reception of the first two.
True.
Yeah. I don't have anything on the top of my head that I would think like, oh, this would be. I'd want to see this done in that art style.
I mean, literally, my first one I thought, since it's Square, would be FF6, also known as 3 here in the US.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't know the number differences like that. That's interesting. Okay. All right.
See, I went there at first, but the only thing that stopped me from thinking they would do something like that is the fact that they did the pixel remasters.
Well, I would think that just because where their big one they're pushing is FF Tactics, which is in that
Yeah.
sort of style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the Tactics are giving a little revival in this sort of. I can't remember if that was in new Tactics or just a redo.
It's a remake.
Oh, okay, of like the original Tactics. Okay.
Yeah, because you have they have an option in it where you can play with the new graphics or the old graphics.
Okay, I haven't actually looked into it, so I didn't realize if it was that Final Fantasy Tactics.
Also, shout out to the team that was behind Final Fantasy Tactics, because if anyone did not catch this piece of news, they had to completely remake that game from scratch. This original source code was lost.
Oh, I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah, the OG source code gone. So they had to remake the entire game in the remake graphics plus the OG graphics all from scratch. So big kudos to them. Hats off. Because that is obviously a goated property for a lot of people, goated game. So, it coming back with the love that it's got, big hats off. But no, the Final Fantasy one, that was where my brain was going, but my brain also then segued to what you said with the pixel remasters. So
I mean, it would be because what was the last Pixel remaster?
They did
Because they just did a string of pretty much all the classic
did-
ones in Pickle Remaster, right?
They did 1 through 7 or 1 through 6. I'm sorry.
Okay,
sounds
that
right.
makes sense. Yeah.
because you can buy the bundle of pixel remasters
Yes.
and it's 1 through 6.
Yeah, no, I had to think about that, but yeah, no, that makes sense because 7 they're doing is the full 3D remaster action. So I mean, whether they continue that for 8 or 9 would be the question.
mhm.
Well, I mean, there's been like the teases of the 9 remaster.
Yeah, I know. I've seen
That's
some
been
of those.
going crazy. And everybody at this point, everybody's just like, just say it.
Yeah,
Just say it.
which is funny to me that they'll skip over 8 to go straight to 9.
I think there is a remaster.
I mean, there was a remaster
There's
of 8.
there's like an older remaster of it, but I
Yes.
assume that all of them are going to get the treatment at some point.
I was about to say, yes, they did do that 8 remaster a couple years back because I have it. But, I mean, they gave 7 this nice treatment, then they're going to go straight to 9 for that treatment, which I understand. 8's just my personal favorite of that mix right there.
Yeah. I actually have the 8 as well. I bought it recently.
Nice. No, I also can't think of any other things to kind of shout out for properties I'd like to see it. Because I mean, my biggest one that I thought of was like Earthbound / Mother. You can assume you're probably going to see some more Dragon Quest love.
I
I know
mean-
that.
Wait a second.
My other go-tos would be Ogre Tactics.
They're wrong.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, you thought they were going to give it to Jade?
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought. Sorry, we're watching SummerSlam.
The fuck's happening tomorrow? Throws all my predictions off.
Everything's off for John now.
Yeah. I will say I do like your idea of revisiting like Game Boy RPGs.
Yeah.
That could be a real fun thing to do.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that would be something that could. I wish Nintendo would dive into that, because obviously they helped and published Triangle Strategy. They were not the devs, of course, but that was a first party release for them that went multi-plat later. I mean, and to the point where, if you guys remember, Triangle Strategy was actually taken down from the eShop for a little while after 2 or 3 years of being released, and then put back up because they had to change the licensing for it, where Square was now the full licensing and publishing for it. Yeah, I think it's even to the point where the box art for the game has changed, because I still have the day one box art, so the spine says Nintendo on the side. I think the new box art, I could be wrong, I think it has Square on the side, for example. So I mean that, Nintendo has dipped their toes in it, and dipped their toes into it with a title that was pretty successful, sold a good amount of copies and everything. But I would really love Nintendo to maybe look at some of their other Game Boy RPGs that they had or whatever, and give it that love. Because it's I understand, from what we've kind of seen, HD2D games, they do have a good sized budget, because I've seen devs talk about hey, those games are arguably just as difficult to create as big budget, RPG, big budget 3D stuff, whatever. But I just think some of these properties that haven't been touched in a while or whatever, these older games, I feel like an HD2D approach is the way to kind of bring them back. You know what I mean? Did you have any Game Boy ones that you could think of? Because for me, like I said, I was looking at Golden Sun was the biggest one I was looking at personally.
No, I didn't have anything in particular. I mean, one that popped in my head is niche.
Right.
I mean, but one that would be cool to see done wouldn't happen.
Fair.
Would be, I forgot
The
the name
DBZ
of it.
Legends?
Yeah, the DBZ
Oh,
Saiyan Saga RPG. That would be really cool to see done in that.
What are you talking about? Attack of the Saiyans?
Yeah.
I think that was the DS game, wasn't it?
I don't. Maybe
I
don't remember that.
That was the turn-based RPG, just the Saiyan Saga.
That being turned into this style would be really cool.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, it's I don't have anything in particular, because my Game Boy library that I had was kind of small.
Right. I think another one for me, and it's also kind of just fresh on the brain because I was just playing it probably just a couple days ago, is I would really like to see them still back to Nintendo, so I apologize for that. Let's really visit some of these older Fire Emblem games that's never come over here. For example, Roy's game, a popular Smash character. His game has still never come over here. Because I was playing the first Fire Emblem for us, just called Fire Emblem. I was playing it just the other night on Nintendo Switch Online, and that I look at something Triangle Strategy, that tactics game. It's obviously we know that approach can work. Look at Fire Emblem Tactics, right? We know that approach can work really well with the HD2D game. I mean, there are so many older Fire Emblem games that's never come over here, like the Binding Blade, which I believe the Binding Blade was Roy's game. There's the Genealogy of a Holy War, but apparently that one, the rumors have been for a while, that has a full-scale remake, which that's cool. But it's while it's awesome to get a full-scale remake for some of these titles, you also don't need them. You could do an HD2D approach for maybe, let's say, Marth's games. I think Marth had 1 or 2 games. Well, obviously at least one, but I think he had maybe 2, maybe even 3 games all dedicated to Marth. You had Roy's game that never came out over here, and there might have been 1 or 2 other games that never came out over here. Therica 776, I think is what it's called. I think, just stuff like that. It'd be cool to revisit that kind of stuff. But, the HD2D genre that has really become over the last few years, man, it's really cool to see it in such a healthy place, to the point where Square, like you talked about, it's like, hey, you guys have been doing your thing. We're just going to go ahead and give you a whole division. That's just cool to see. I'm glad to see the success for it. And I just hope the success continues, where it's like how it is now, where anytime we see one, it's like, all right, yeah, we got a banger right here, like, because that's how it's been. With, like you pointed out, it's like that's how it's been for like every single one we've had so far. It's like, oh yeah, this is banger after banger. So got an alarm about to go off. Let me turn that off. So yeah, no, just excited for the future of that genre, and like the adventures of Elliot and stuff.